Hello everybody, today I'm here to talk to you about why student athletes deserve to be paid. Now I want to ask the question, how many of you attend Grizz football or basketball games? Now, how many of you watch any sort of college sports on TV? Well, although I can't see your hands, I'm assuming it's most of us. Now I'm a big college sports fan myself, and this subject has always been very appealing to me because it's such a big deal in the sports world. We can all be interested in this topic, being that we are all college students. Now, college athletes deserve to be paid because they have very little free time to get a job. Universities make millions of dollars off their talent and performances, and it encourages them to remain in college and experience all it has to offer. First, let's talk about the very little free time that athletes get. College athletes deserve to be paid because they have very little free time to get a job. With 2 to 3 hour practices a day, competitions, travel time, community service projects, and appearances, student athletes have little to no free time. The NCAA states that an average D1 athlete spends 35 to 37 hours per week on athletic activity alone. We can all agree that that leaves no time to get a job, and no job means no funds for gas, groceries, entertainment, or any other miscellaneous expenses that average college students encounter daily. Student athletes give up all of their free time until they have nothing left. They're too broke to afford any luxuries outside of their sport and schooling, and they're working a full-time job in their sport alone and receive no payment from it. This forces student athletes to live on next to nothing. Now, I would like to go over my visual aid real quick. It is an example of a Division I football schedule. Now, it starts out at 5 to 6 a.m. when the athlete wakes up for breakfast and packs for the day. Moves on to then 6 to 8 a.m., which is strength and conditioning. 8 to 8:30 is a team meeting and reviewing the practice schedule. 8:30 to 9, shower and get to class. 9 to 2 is classes and lunch. 2 to 2:30, watching game film. 2:30 to 3:15 is getting taped and just prepping before practice. 3:30 to 6 is practice with a team. 6 to 7, shower and any other training. 7 to 7:30 is eating dinner. And then 7:30 to 9:30 is academic support. And then 9:30 to 12 is finishing homework and going to sleep. So we can all safely say that that leaves no room to get a job. Student athletes have such a high demand for their time that they're not able to take advantage of some of the resources and opportunities that the university can provide. This means they can't enroll in evening or afternoon courses, participate in student exchange programs, apply for internships, or study abroad. Student athletes are forced to be limited and should be compensated for these sacrifices. This includes all 4 years as long as the athlete stays with the sport. So that means that the athletes are taking the classes at the same times all throughout their whole college, which ultimately leads to them only experiencing a fraction of the opportunities that the university has to offer. Now that we've talked a little about the little free time that athletes get, let's talk about the money they generate. Universities make millions of dollars from athletes' talent and performances. Big-time college athletes and teams are marketed by universities, and their images are sold for millions of dollars. Student athletes are being exploited. The universities are making millions of dollars off of them, and they don't see a penny. Profitable sports teams that generate money for their schools should receive payment as compensation for the hard work they put in and the money that they generate. The New York Times writes, if players were paid in proportion to the amount of revenue they generated for their colleges, the top 10% of football and 16% of basketball players would be paid around $400,000 and $200,000 per year. The NCAA has turned from an organization into a big business. Now, originally, when the NCAA started up and wasn't creating as much revenue as they do today, it is understandable to not pay student athletes because they wouldn't be able to last. But now the NCAA has turned into one of the biggest sports industries in the world and generates over $1 billion a year. Now, they give none of it to the driving forces and the players that are doing all the work to actually generate this money. So that is another reason why college athletes deserve to be paid. Now that we've talked about the money that these athletes generate, let's talk about the life skills that college offers. A college education brings a lot more to the table than just a diploma. College helps provide people with the use of improving social skills, practicing time and money management, building personal and professional relationships that can last a lifetime. Colleges are filled with volunteer organizations and professional societies where you can meet others in your field. This can include internship opportunities along with chances to get real-world experience. Also, there are a lot of risks that athletes can face. And paying athletes encourages them to stay in college longer. With the risks of career-ending injuries, public scrutiny, and not making the pros, it's very important to have a backup plan. And what better of a backup plan is a college education? In conclusion, let's review our main points. Today we talked about athletes having no free time, generating millions of dollars for their universities and seeing none of it, and not experiencing all that college has to offer. College athletes should be paid because they have very little free time to get a job. Universities make millions of dollars off their talent and performance, and it encourages them to remain in college and experience all it has to offer. Now that you've heard my ideas and thoughts, I hope you can all safely say that college athletes deserve to be paid. Thank you.